Ankh-Mat-Hotep began his journey with a hole in his heart. It was a classic story, really, a man looking for that one thing everyone says will complete him: true love. He'd looked in all the usual places, the coffee shops, the dating apps, the friend of a friend setups that always feel like a weird job interview. Nothing clicked. He felt like he was searching for a specific song, but he only knew a few of the notes. It was frustrating. He decided that maybe, just maybe, the love he was looking for wasn't a person. Maybe it was a place, a feeling, a connection to something bigger than himself. So he packed a bag and set his sights on a continent he felt calling to him: Africa. His quest began not with a grand declaration, but with a quiet curiosity. He wasn't a conqueror or an explorer in the old-fashioned, slightly problematic sense of the word. He was just a guy with a backpack and a lot of questions. Ankh believed that to find true love, you first had to understand what love looked like in all its different forms. Was it in the warmth of a shared meal, the kindness of a stranger, the breathtaking view from a mountaintop? He promised himself he would visit every single country, all 54 of them, to truly understand the pulse of the continent and hopefully find the rhythm his own heart was missing. Ankh's journey unfolded like a magnificent, sprawling tapestry. He quickly learned that Africa wasn't a single story, it was a library of epics. He started in the north, where the scent of mint tea and spices hung in the air of bustling Moroccan souks. Mint tea poured and spices piled high. Then he traveled down to the vibrant chaos of Lagos, Nigeria, a city that moves with the energy of a million dreams happening all at once. He learned to say hello in so many ways: marhaba, sawubona, jambo, bonjour. Each greeting was a key, unlocking a new room in this vast, beautiful house. He wasn't just a tourist, he was a student, and the entire continent was his classroom. The landscapes were as diverse as the people. One week he was trekking through the misty highlands of Ethiopia, home to ancient rock-hewn churches that seemed to defy gravity. The next, he was standing in awe before the thunderous power of Victoria Falls, feeling the spray on his face and understanding why it's called the smoke that thunders. He saw the otherworldly baobab trees of Madagascar, which looked like they were planted upside down by a playful god. He navigated the serene waterways of the Okavango Delta in a dugout canoe, watching elephants drink peacefully at the water's edge. He realized that calling Africa a country was like calling a whole orchestra a single flute. But it was the people who truly painted the picture for him. In Ghana, he shared stories with fishermen as they mended their nets, their hands moving with an ancient, practiced rhythm. In Rwanda, he listened to the quiet dignity of a nation rebuilding itself with hope and forgiveness, a testament to the strength of the human spirit. He danced at a wedding in Senegal, caught up in a whirlwind of color, music, and pure, unadulterated joy. He found that a smile was a universal language, a currency that was accepted everywhere, from the busiest city market to the most remote village. As Ankh traveled, a new word began to surface in his conversations, a quiet but persistent whisper. It wasn't in the guidebooks or on the maps he carried. He first heard it from an elder in Egypt, who spoke of a time before the Greeks, before the Romans. He heard it again from a historian in Mali, who traced its roots through the great West African empires. The word was Alkebulan. It was spoken with a certain reverence, a deep and knowing pride. It felt different from the name he knew Africa, a name given by outsiders, by conquerors. This name felt like it grew from the soil itself. The more he asked, the more he learned. Scholars, poets, everyday people told him Alkebulan was one of the oldest, most authentic names for the continent. It was an indigenous, pre-colonial name. The name Africa came later, a label applied by others. Learning this felt like discovering a best friend's real name after years of a nickname. It was a revelation. A name is not just a word, it's an identity. It's a story. The story of Africa had been one of conquest and division. The story of Alkebulan was something else entirely. Diving deeper, Ankh learned what the name Alkebulan meant. While its exact translation is debated among historians, Mother of Mankind, Garden of Eden. This resonated with him on a level he couldn't fully explain. It wasn't just a poetic title. Scientific truth, historical truth, the cradle of humankind where the oldest hominid fossils were discovered, is in southern Africa. The Great Rift Valley is the birthplace of our species. Humanity in its entirety began here. Alkebulan wasn't just a mother to its own people, it was the mother of everyone. This understanding transformed his search for love. He had been looking for a love that would complete him, but now he realized he was already part of something whole. He was a child of Alkebulan, just like every other person on the planet. His journey was no longer about finding a missing piece, but about remembering where he came from. He saw the mother in the land itself, fertile soil that nourished millions, vast rivers, like arteries giving life, immense patient deserts holding ancient wisdom. The continent wasn't just a place, it was a living, breathing parent. In the end, Ankh-Mat-Hotep found his true love. It wasn't a woman he met in a cafe in Addis Ababa or a market in Marrakesh. His true love was the continent itself, the warmth of the Saharan sun, the cool mist of the Cape of Good Hope, the rhythm of the djembe drums, the quiet wisdom in an elder's eyes. His love was Alkebulan. It was a love that didn't demand anything from him but simply asked to be seen, to be understood, to be called by its true name. The most profound, unconditional love he had ever known. He completed his journey through all 54 nations, yet his relationship with Alkebulan was just beginning, a lifelong love affair. He found love in the resilience of its people, their laughter, their dancing, their hope. Written in red earth, painted in the colors of 1,000 sunsets. A romance with 54 different faces speaking 2,000 different languages. He'd set out to find a person to complete him, but found a whole continent that showed him he was already complete. For him, that something was, and always would be, the great mother of mankind, Alkebulan.